Guys who identify as Sigma males are guys who hold steadfast beliefs and values. They will always stand up for what they believe is right, even if it's not what most people think. They are the kind of men who won't accept disrespect from anyone and will push them. What are some things that a Sigma finds very annoying? Watch the whole video to find out the answer. Since Sigma males are the focus of today's film, don't accept these 8 things from anyone. First, people who scare other people. The Sigma group is a staunch supporter of justice and equality, and they won't stand by anyone who abuses their position of authority to terrorize or force others. They recognize that bullying is a kind of abuse and that it is their duty to speak up for those who are being abused. The male members of the Sigma group are not hesitant to speak out against bullies and will not be afraid to approach them in order to put an end to their harmful behavior. They stand up to bullies for many reasons, such as their commitment to justice and their desire to protect the weak. Sigma shows that they are willing to face wrong head-on and use their position for the good of everyone. Second, they value independence and being able to take care of themselves. They also know that bullies often pick on people who are weaker or less confident. By standing up to a bully, Sigma males show their strength and aggression and send the message that they won't be scared or controlled by others. Last but not least, they know that bullying can hurt people for a long time and that it is important to address the problem in order to make everyone's environment better and more helpful. Bullies can make the world more fair and kind if Sigma guys stand up to them. Individuals who lack respect are ranked second. Sigma males have a strong sense of self-respect that keeps them from letting others treat them badly or make fun of their knowledge or skills. They are very sensitive to flattery because it is a direct attack on their skills. The men in the Sigma group aren't hesitant to speak up against dismissive people and make it clear that they won't stand for their worth being taken away in any way. Everyone needs to be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their background or position in life. A Sigma man, for example, might address a coworker who makes fun of their ideas in a meeting and make it clear that this kind of behavior is not allowed in their presence. Those who abuse their position of power over them are ranked third. Sigma males value their independence and won't be put under any influence or control. They understand that no one has the authority to impose their will on others and that real power comes from within. For example, a Sigma guy won't put up with a boss trying to control their work or a friend trying to make decisions for them. They will make a point of being separate and fighting for their own rights. A Sigma is a guy who can't be controlled by other people and who lives his life in such a way that he doesn't have to worry about what other people want because most of them are corrupt and mean. Sigma males can't stand people who abuse their power. Lord Acton, an English historian from the 1800s, said, "Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely." 4. People who always have something bad to say. Forward-thinking individuals who are unaffected by gloom and fear are males who identify as Sigma. They don't let other people's bad attitudes bring them down because they think that complaining is a waste of time and energy. Instead, they focus on coming up with answers and making things better. Individuals who bother them are not put up with. Just complain but don't do anything about it. For example, a Sigma guy might decide to cut ties with a friend who is always negative and hang out with people who are aggressive and solution-focused because being around people who are always negative takes their energy. Sigma guys can't stand people who are always complaining about something. Sigma guys might find it draining and discouraging to be around negative people who focus on their issues instead of looking for answers. They value optimism and a can-do attitude, and they believe that issues should be handled and settled rather than just complained about. Sigma men think that whining without doing anything about it shows a lack of effort and a refusal to take charge of one's own life. 5. People who don't give them good advice. Because wrong advice is sometimes given without thinking about the consequences, the Sigma guys will not put up with it. Members of the Sigma fraternity hold the opinion that advice should always be given with care and attention because they recognize that it has the power to influence a person's actions and decisions. Bad advice can hurt the person who gets it, so Sigma guys won't put up with people who give bad advice. They also recognize that people who give bad advice are also responsible for the effects, and they place a high value on personal responsibility. Sigma men like to seek out and listen to advice from people who have knowledge, experience, and a history of making good decisions. By weeding out people who give bad advice, the men in the Sigma group make sure they get good advice that will help them make the best decisions for their lives. Knowing who to listen to is a strong way for a Sigma to learn more about different parts of his life. 6. Those who give up on their faith. For Sigma males to develop meaningful connections with others, trust is a crucial part of interactions. Men in the Sigma group think it's important to cut ties and end a connection as soon as someone they trusted, like a friend or a lover, fails them or gives them something they don't want. They hold that trust is the foundation of all relationships, and that once it is broken, it can be difficult or even impossible to fix. It shows a lack of self-respect and honesty if you let someone into your life who lies to you or about you all the time, or who is always trying to trick you. Sigma men won't think twice about going back on their word because they don't like the hate that comes with lying. 7th, people who have a bad image. Punctuality and reliability are very important to the male members of the Sigma group, both in their personal and professional lives. They can't stand people who regularly miss meetings or don't keep their promises. When someone is always uncertain and can't be counted on, it sends the message that they don't care about other people's time and plans, which is a big sign of disrespect. Time is one of the most valuable things we all have, so when lazy individuals waste it, it is very annoying. Individuals who don't respect the limits or privacy of others are number 8. People who don't respect other people's limits or privacy will always be around, from the nosy neighbor to the pushy friend. Men in the Sigma group cannot stand anyone who invades their personal space because they depend on their privacy and secrecy to maintain control over their lives. People will have ideas about who you are before they meet you if you let everyone know everything about yourself. This could make them less likely to listen to you or take you seriously. Because of this, Sigma males don't show the world all their cards. In this way, they can use public opinion to keep their power in cases where it can be helpful. People think Sigma men are arrogant and greedy because they have a different point of view and way of thinking than most people. This shows how different Sigma men are from most people. Normal guys can't be compared to them because they are men in their own league. Sigma men are also called lone wolves because they would rather be alone than waste time at social events with people they don't know. Do you agree with what has been said so far? Please tell us what you think in the comment section. Take care until next time.